Archie's Madhouse, issue 49. Some teenagers are dancing at a dance club, and a bold guy demands a cop to shut the dance club down. And at least the officer apologizes before saying that this place is behind on its rent. Then the bold guy's happy because the so-called kids will be forced to come to his place where he can rook them for really high prices. So that's more realistic than him just wanting them to stop dancing to loud music nearby, because it's loud music, when he could just go somewhere else. For some reason, someone guesses that Sabrina could help them. Is it common knowledge that she's a witch? You think people would be hunting witches then, and it would be the Salem witch trials again. So there's a reason that this wasn't done later on. Sabrina tells her friends that the bold guy just gave them a half-acre for their new dance club. She gave him a special potion, so she's actually out and open about the fact that she's a witch. To friends of hers that are presumably mortal. That's refreshing. She's told that it costs thousands to build a new club. Sabrina uses magic to grow gigantic, as one of her friends says happily that she'll use her powers. I guess she's just growing giant to show off, because in the next panel she's at his height. She turns the club upside down, but somehow that was just an accident. She says that she meant to say some other words, and her friends end up impressed. One of them asks what they'll do for a band, so she's being a good witch and honest about it with no consequences. At least that's new and lighthearted. She says she'll take care of the band and uses magic just to end up summoning rocking chairs when she meant to summon rockers. That's dumb. That won't happen either. It's even pointed out that she's an amateur witch. She summons the Beatles at last. She would have just imagined them in the first place, not screwed up. She's asked for a hard-driving beat. And despite being told they want a drummer, she inexplicably summons a guy with a jackhammer and not a drummer. But it turns out that obnoxious sound does work after all, somehow. The officer tells Baldy that the kids aren't doing anything wrong. He says the noise is disturbing his valuable prize guppies. Couldn't he bring them somewhere else? He lies to the cop and takes him to an aquarium. And he sees a giant dolphin sending out water in an aquarium with a baby fish near it. And he's surprised and is told he's a grandpa. And Sabrina was responsible, and thinks that she got here just in time. Gee, good thing she thought to do this when she had no competence before. Johnson says that if he can learn the teens' dances, maybe he could set up a rival dance club. He asks Sabrina to teach him how to do one of the dances. She casts a spell and sends him away. And she's told she screwed up, but she didn't. She intentionally sent him to the ocean to make him swim in it. So at least it ends on her being competent after all. She was trying to be a hero even. Well, she was constantly screwing up this story, somehow. She did end up being the good guy. Some guy wanted to move a bunch of kids who were dancing in a club to a much more expensive dance club of his. And Sabrina uses magic to mess with him. It's interesting that the mortals know that Sabrina's a witch, and everything's cool. Somehow.